14th, 2017, we are doing a video for individuals who suffer from anxiety and those who have very deep emotions and who struggle with being a sensitive person in the world, people who have a hard time grounding themselves, etc. And I just thought it would be nice to kind of incorporate some videos. Hopefully this video is clear so you can see it. And that way, if you watch this, maybe you can pick something up, like a tool that could be beneficial for you. So that being said, I'm just going to kind of tune into my own energy and help guide those who may be needing it at this time. So what I'm feeling is when you are a sensitive person, you may feel like you want to escape crowds. Not everyone, but sometimes we enter places that make us feel overwhelmed and stressed. So this just means that you're in environments, we'll use a playground as an example, and you get into that environment and you're sensing that someone else around you is also potentially stressed or also potentially upset with something. And as a sensitive person, you may unconsciously, meaning you're not aware that someone around you is also feeling off, shall we say. And this means that you have the potential to feel those feelings. And so this, just the thought of this makes us feel tense in our bodies, makes us feel stressed, it makes us also feel sensations maybe that we don't want to feel. And it's kind of your job to then clear this. And what that means is put up our bubble and protect ourselves. So we walk into the playground, we may be already carrying some of our own stress around. This young child is very upset and he's crying because his brother was on the swing and he wanted to get on the swing and he starts crying and you're thinking, oh God, for the love of the Lord. But there's a person inside of us that either wants to go over and help, but we can't and we feel hopeless. There's another part of us that says, not my problem, I'm going to just ignore this. And then there's another part of us that we'll just pick up those feelings in ourselves and start feeling upset. So there are just like different personalities that deal with things on a different level, but as a sensitive person, just know that you will be picking up those feelings. So what you want to do is then put up a white light around you and the other people around you. And so what this does is it makes us feel protected, it makes us become conscious of it, and it also helps with grounding. So a lot of people suffer from anxiety because of the overwhelming energy around them. And that just means that they're able to pick up energy that other people are feeling around them. And sometimes people think that it's their own when it's actually other people's. I'm not saying that that's always the case. Sometimes it is just your energy, but you have to be really careful with the environments that you put yourself in. And so that's what I'm suggesting with anybody that's watching that struggles with any type of anxiety. If you're very sensitive and you need grounding, all three things, you want to be very careful with the environments that you go into. You want them to be positive. You want them to be open space. You want usually less people, the easier it is when you're trying to deal with the anxiety. After you have it managed, you will find it easier to be around more people. But until you get there, less people is better. And so crowds are something you probably want to stay away from. And the unfortunate part is the more sensitive you become, almost the worse it gets. So just keeping that in mind, you want to put up that white light as often as you can when you walk into an environment where you sense or feel that there are multiple energies around, meaning multiple people, or anytime you feel a sense that someone else is feeling stressed, or that they're not very, I guess, positive. So that being said, that's how you want to manage environments. Now, in terms of your own energy, it's really important that you teach yourself to let go, meaning let go of control. If you are sensitive, you're going to be feeling deeply. When you feel deeply, you want to make sure that you're not trying to control situations, because the more you let go of trying to control situations, the easier it will become for you to just deal with any stress that comes in. Meaning, an example would be what you're going to have for dinner. If you are a very sensitive person, and you feel like, oh, I have to have fish tonight because I haven't had fish all week, and I'm supposed to eat fish twice a week, just say. Then you may find, being a sensitive person, that you really don't want fish. You're just trying to fit into this little mold, I guess. And I'm not saying that nutrition is a mold, but that somebody once upon a time said I should eat fish twice a week, and therefore I need to have fish tonight. So really learning that you need to go with the flow by tuning into your own energy and feeling your own feelings, right? Do I want fish or do I not fish? This may seem really basic, but what you're going to find is that you can reach that internal voice, you can reach that intuition. And when you learn to do that, you're going to find more satisfaction, and also known as less stress. And then we can manage these feelings a little bit better. And when we manage those feelings a bit better, say we end up having pizza, because pizza is actually what we wanted, we find that there's joy, and then we attract more joy into our lives. So we decide not to have the fish, we decide, okay, I'm gonna have pizza because there's pizza in the cupboard, and I want pizza. Very simple, very easy, my intuition's telling me so. Sorry if this sounds complicated, but in return, you will feel more grounded. And grounded just means less in your head, more joy in the heart. And when we have joy in the heart, we feel very connected to earth. We feel very down to earth. We feel like there's less clutter in our heads. Now, if we ate that fish because we were supposed to eat fish, but we didn't feel like fish, what we're going to find is that we're dissatisfied. And then we will start looking back at why are we dissatisfied. We may reflect more. Sensitive people tend to analyze. People with anxiety, and I don't want to be like people like this are, but just in terms of learning about the spiritual stuff, what I feel like I'm tuning into is that we tend to look back rather than ahead when we're dissatisfied. So working on satisfaction through the intuition. So we're going to put up our white light in our environments. We're going to minimize the amount of people that we're around. We want to be around positive people. We want to be around people that are also joyful. We want to tap into that intuition. We want to ask our intuition questions. So we need to stop and actually ask ourselves a question, which may mean we need to slow down. We may need to sit down. We need to just take a few deep breaths. And then we need to actually say to ourselves, how is my body feeling? What am I really craving? Now, say you ask yourself that question and you don't know the answer, what you want to do is then close your eyes and basically say, if I move forward, it's a yes. If I move back, it's a no. And that just means that this is my intuition, my body telling me what the answer is. Do I feel like fish? No. Okay. Do I feel like pizza? Yes. Very simple. Try following it. You'll find it very helpful. In terms of grounding, just deep breathing. working on that joy, working on that intuition, getting outside a little more in nature. If you can eat that pizza outside, you're going to feel a lot better than you will inside. Unless you're a person that really doesn't like the inside, you want to make sure that you have, again, a very positive environment inside of your home. Making sure that you're decluttering, so if there are things or items in the home that make you feel negative, also dismissing some of those items, that's very important. And also working on letting go of the past. So if you need to talk to a psychologist, if you need Reiki, if you need meditation practice, yoga, etc. But the other thing that's coming through is also gemstones, rocks, crystals, that sort of thing. Learning more about that. I sell jewelry as well that you can like carry with you. Hematite's really good for grounding. Really working on finding peace in your environment will also help with the anxiety. And like I'm also suggesting these are just tools, knowing that your doctor is always going to be the main person that can help you with this as well. So I hope that that was helpful. Thank you so much, and you can visit me at robinshealing.com as well if you are interested in any of my services or products that I have. Enjoy your day. Goodbye.